Good morning. Before you take that first sip of water today, pause for just a moment, because what I'm about to share could change how your body ages, how your kidneys function, and based on some of the most compelling research coming out of top universities, even how certain cells behave inside your body. I'm Dr. Thomas Harrison, and I encourage you to stay with me through this entire video. Each part builds on the last, and the most important insight, the one about stem cell activation, comes toward the end. You won't want to miss it. Over the past 20 years in medical practice, I've seen thousands of patients come in with fatigue, brain fog, joint discomfort, digestive issues, and elevated inflammation markers. And when I ask them one simple question, what's the first thing you do in the morning? The answers are almost always the same: coffee, breakfast, or scrolling on their phone. Very few are doing what I'm about to explain. And that's a missed opportunity, especially after the age of 60. Here's what most people don't realize. By the time you wake up, your body has gone 6 to 8 hours without water. During that time, your kidneys have been filtering your blood, your liver has been carrying out detox processes, and your lymphatic system has been clearing cellular waste, all while you're mildly dehydrated. That means the very first thing you consume in the morning, your first glass of water, is one of the most powerful biological reset tools you have. Yet most people waste it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not just about drinking water, it's about what you add to it. There's one simple ingredient, likely already in your kitchen, that can dramatically influence what happens inside your body at a cellular level. When you add this ingredient to your morning water, your kidneys begin flushing out accumulated crystalline waste. Inflammatory pathways start to calm down. And in multiple peer-reviewed studies, including research published in journals like the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition, this ingredient has shown the ability to suppress certain proteins that abnormal cells rely on to grow and multiply. I'll reveal exactly what it is in a moment, but first you need to understand why the morning hours are so critical. Between roughly 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., your body enters a highly active internal phase. Cortisol levels begin to rise. This is your natural wake-up signal. At the same time, your kidneys shift into what's known as an early morning filtration surge. This is when your body is most actively working to eliminate waste products, excess uric acid, and cellular debris from the previous day. Think of it like a city's overnight cleanup system. By morning, everything has been collected, and now it needs to be cleared out efficiently. But that can only happen under the right conditions. Dehydration is the first obstacle. The second, which surprises many people, is acidity. During sleep, your body's pH naturally shifts slightly toward the acidic side. This is normal, but it also creates an environment where certain harmful processes can accelerate. Free radical activity increases. Inflammatory cytokines become more active. And importantly, this type of environment can support abnormal cellular behavior. Researchers at the University of California have explored how acidic conditions inside the body can make it easier for abnormal cells to thrive. In fact, cancer cells are known to prefer low oxygen, more acidic environments. This concept dates back to the work of Otto Warburg, who discovered that cancer cells metabolize energy differently under these conditions, a finding that earned him the Nobel Prize. When you understand this, your morning routine becomes far more than a habit. It becomes a biological strategy. So what's the ingredient? It's fresh lemon juice. Specifically, the juice of half a fresh organic lemon added to 8 to 12 ounces of warm, not hot, not cold filtered water. Drink it within 15 minutes of waking, before coffee, before food, before anything else. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Lemon is acidic. Didn't you just say we need to reduce acidity? How does that make sense? It's a fair question. And this is where the science gets truly interesting. Even though lemon juice is acidic outside the body, with a pH around 2 to 3, it behaves very differently once it's metabolized. This process is known as alkaline ash metabolism. After digestion, the citric acid is broken down, and what remains actually produces a mild alkalizing effect on your blood and urine. This isn't just theory, it's been measured in controlled studies. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin found that regular lemon juice consumption increased urinary pH, which is linked to a lower risk of kidney stone formation and better kidney filtration efficiency. But even if we focused only on the kidneys, That alone would make this habit worthwhile. Your kidneys filter nearly 200 liters of blood every single day. They are among the most hard-working organs in your body, and also among the most vulnerable. They are highly sensitive to hydration, oxidative stress, and uric acid levels. Here's the concern. After the age of 40, kidney function tends to decline by about 1% per year. By age 70, that can mean up to a 30% reduction in function, and most people don't even realize it, because early decline is often silent. Instead, it shows up as subtle issues: low energy, higher blood pressure, poor sleep, and mental fog. These are the exact complaints I hear from patients every day. Lemon water helps target several of the root causes behind this decline. The citrate in lemon, essentially the salt form of citric acid, binds with calcium oxalate in the urine, preventing it from forming crystals that lead to kidney stones. At the same time, potassium citrate supports the delicate electrolyte balance your kidneys need to function efficiently. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Urology in 2014 showed that people who regularly consumed lemon juice had significantly fewer recurring kidney stones compared to those who didn't. And this goes beyond comfort. Kidney stones are often linked to deeper inflammation in the kidneys, and chronic inflammation in the kidneys is a major driver of long-term kidney disease. Now let's widen the lens, because inflammation is where everything connects. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging, is now considered one of the central drivers behind many age-related conditions, including heart disease, joint degeneration, cognitive decline, and even cancer. And your morning routine plays a key role in either fueling or calming this inflammatory state. Lemon juice contains several powerful bioactive compounds that help regulate inflammation. One of the most important is a flavonoid called hesperidin. Hesperidin has been widely studied for its effect on NF-κB, nuclear factor kappa B, which acts like a master switch for inflammation in the body. When NF-κB is overactive, it triggers the release of inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha, interleukin-6, and interleukin-1 beta. These same markers are elevated in conditions like cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative disorders, joint issues, and importantly, in the environments that allow abnormal cells to grow and survive. A 2016 study published in the journal Nutrients found that hesperidin supplementation significantly lowered these inflammatory markers in older adults. What makes timing so important is that NF-κB activity follows your body's internal clock. It tends to peak in the early morning hours, so when you consume hesperidin through something as simple as lemon water during this window, you're targeting inflammation at its most active point. This is what I call precision nutrition, aligning what you consume with your body's biology and doing it with something as simple as lemon and water. Now let's talk about the connection to cancer. And I want to be very clear here. I am not saying lemon water cures cancer. No responsible medical professional would make that claim. What I am saying is that the compounds found in lemon and how they interact with cellular processes are genuinely promising and worth understanding. There are three key mechanisms here that deserve your attention. Now let's go deeper into the science, because this is where things become truly fascinating. First, D-limonene. This is a natural compound found mainly in the peel of the lemon, but small amounts also make their way into the juice. Research has shown that D-limonene may help trigger apoptosis, which is the body's natural process of eliminating damaged or abnormal cells. In clinical studies, particularly involving breast and colon cancer cell lines, this compound has demonstrated the ability to slow down abnormal cell growth. One phase 1 trial conducted at the University of Arizona observed that patients who consumed D-limonene showed a measurable reduction in a protein called cyclin D1, which plays a key role in cancer cell proliferation. That's significant because overexpression of cyclin D1 is found in many types of cancer. Second, let's talk about vitamin C and how it interacts with cellular metabolism. Lemon juice is a natural source of vitamin C, and this nutrient has been studied extensively in cancer research. Cancer cells have an unusually high demand for glucose, a phenomenon known as the Warburg effect. Here's where it gets interesting. Vitamin C can compete with glucose for entry into the cell through specific transport pathways. In doing so, it may create oxidative stress inside abnormal cells while leaving healthy cells relatively unaffected. Research from institutions like the National Cancer Institute continues to explore this mechanism, especially in high-dose settings, but even at dietary levels, vitamin C contributes to shaping a less favorable environment for abnormal cell activity. Third, and perhaps most surprising, is the effect on the tumor microenvironment. Solid tumors often create an acidic environment around themselves. This acidity helps them invade nearby tissues and avoid immune detection. When you introduce compounds that gently shift the body toward a more alkaline state, even slightly, you can disrupt that environment. This makes it harder for abnormal cells to maintain the conditions they rely on. This area is still being actively studied, but the biological reasoning behind it is strong and increasingly supported. Now let's move to what may be the most exciting part of all: stem cell activity. Your body produces stem cells throughout your life. These are your internal repair system cells that can transform into whatever tissue your body needs to heal and regenerate. But here's the problem: as you age, this system slows down dramatically. By the time you reach your 70s, stem cell activity may be only a fraction of what it was in your 30s. This decline is one of the core reasons aging leads to widespread wear and tear in the body. However, researchers are discovering something powerful. Stem cell activity is highly sensitive to your internal environment, especially oxidative stress and nutrient signaling. When oxidative stress is high, stem cells essentially go into survival mode. Repair takes a back seat, but when oxidative stress is reduced, and when your cells are well hydrated and properly supported, stem cell activity can increase again. A 2019 study published in Cell Stem Cell found that fasting-like conditions can stimulate growth factors linked to stem cell activation, and your morning state before eating naturally mimics this condition. Adding lemon water during this window provides hydration and key compounds without disrupting that fasted state. There's another layer here. The citrate found in lemon plays a role in the Krebs cycle, which is your cell's primary energy production pathway. Providing citrate early in the day helps prime your mitochondria, the energy centers of your cells, for more efficient function. Better mitochondrial function means fewer free radicals, and fewer free radicals create a more supportive environment for cellular repair, including stem cell activity. Everything here is connected. Now let's make this practical. Here's the exact protocol. Take 8 to 12 ounces of filtered water, warm it slightly, not hot, not cold, just around body temperature. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon, preferably organic. Optionally, add a tiny pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan salt for trace minerals. Drink it slowly over about 5 minutes. One important tip: do not brush your teeth immediately after drinking. The citric acid temporarily softens enamel, and brushing too soon can cause damage. Either brush beforehand or rinse your mouth with plain water and wait at least 30 minutes. Consistency is everything. The benefits we've discussed: reduced inflammation, improved kidney function, better cellular balance, don't happen overnight. These are cumulative effects that build over weeks. Studies typically measure results at 8, 12, and even 16 weeks. You are gradually reshaping your body's internal environment, and especially as you get older, this morning window becomes incredibly valuable. Every single morning, your body gives you a choice. You can start your day with coffee on an empty stomach, pushing your system further into stress and acidity, or you can begin with something simple, natural, and backed by research, a habit that signals to your body, you're hydrated, you're supported, you're ready to repair. This isn't a drug, it isn't a supplement, it's just a lemon and a glass of water. And what it does inside your body is far more powerful than most people realize. If you found this helpful, take a second to like the video. It helps more people discover this kind of science-based information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. I share new evidence-based health strategies every week, things you won't always hear in a quick doctor's visit. Next week, I'll be covering a powerful morning technique that stimulates the vagus nerve, shown to improve sleep, reduce blood pressure, and support heart health in adults over 60. You won't want to miss it.